Okay, good morning, my students, girls and boys in Modern Arab Academy School. I hope you are all fine. Rawan Hwetat is speaking to you. Our lesson today is a new unit in Unit 3, an indoor garden. We have the reading course book, page 32. Please open your course book, page 32, 33, and follow me. Now, we will, after this lesson, we have outcomes. After this lesson, the student should be able to 1. Read the text correctly. Number 2. Recognize the type of the text. 3. Recognize the new words. 4. Distinguish between the parts of a speech. Is it a noun? Is it a verb? And so on. Number 5. Recognize the theme of the text. موضوع النص. Okay. Before we start with analyzing the text, we will listen to the video to the native speaker to know how can we read the text. Okay, this lesson, what is the title of this lesson? We have an indoor garden. From the picture, from the pictures, we can understand that this text is instructions text. Text with instructions, تعليمات. Okay, now before that, we will listen to this reading. Then we will explain. Please listen carefully and attentively. Wait. Now listen to the speaker, please.
Unit 3. An indoor garden. Making a terrarium. Everybody likes to be surrounded by plants and flowers. Some plants need very little water, sunlight and soil, and can be grown indoors. Such plants can be grown in a terrarium. A terrarium is a small indoor garden that can be grown in a glass jar. Clear, smooth glass offers the best view of the plants inside. Here is an easy way to make a terrarium. Things you need: a large, clear jar, charcoal and pebbles, soil for planting, 2 or more plants. Choose a short plant. Colourful stones for decorating. Bright green moss. A small funnel. What to do? 1. Fill the jar with a layer of charcoal and pebbles. This will keep the soil from getting too damp. 2. Add a layer of soil. Make holes in the soil about 1 inch apart. 3. Place the plants in the soil. 4. Gently tap the soil down over the roots of the plants. 5. Place the moss and the colourful stones around the plants. The moss stops the water from evaporating quickly, and the stones make the terrarium beautiful. 6. Water the plant with the help of a small funnel. Water only when the soil feels dry. Place the terrarium in a well-lit area, but not in direct sunlight. You can keep it in a room or gift this pretty garden to a friend.
Okay, so our lesson is about an indoor garden. What is an indoor garden? We will know what's the meaning of this sentence, this phrase. Now, this is a terrarium. What's the meaning of a terrarium? This is a terrarium, okay? Look here. But before we analyze the text, we will make a quick, let's say, a quick reading, a quick uh, idea about the text. Okay, now we have an introduction here about a terrarium. Here we have about the plants, and this text is instructions text. Instructions, تعليمات. So we have تعليمات in this lesson. Okay, we have introduction here. Let's use the marker. Here we have introduction about the text. Here we have a question before we read, and here we have the list of the things you need. We have a large clear jar, we have a charcoal and pebbles, we have soil for planting, we have two or more plants, we have colorful stones for decorating, we have bright green moss, we have a small funnel. Okay, here, so the text is about making a terrarium. Making a terrarium. How can we make a terrarium? And this is called a terrarium. What's the meaning of a terrarium? It's a jar or it's a container, وعاء, to make a garden inside it. Okay, لنعمل حديقة صغيرة داخله. Okay, now after that, please wait. Okay, we have the list. Before we read the list, help us to understand. Here we have a list of things we need. Then we have here, let's say the steps, let's say sequences, ترتيب. Okay, what to do? Here we have how can we make a terrarium? Okay, how can we make a terrarium by using numbers? Okay, we have numbers. The numbers help us to understand the text, and we have pictures to help us understanding the text. Okay, so the numbers, here we have the list. Here we have the list, القائمة بالأشياء اللي بنحتاجها to make a terrarium like this. Then we have steps using numbers. We have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we have pictures. We have what? Pictures. The pictures, the numbers, the list help us to understand the text. Okay, now we will know how to read this text. We will understand the meaning of new words. We will distinguish between the parts of speech, yani what is the noun, what is the verb, what is the adjective, and so on. And we will understand the theme of our lesson. Okay, now we will analyze line by line and paragraph by paragraph. Okay, now we will start with the first paragraph, and we will analyze line by line. What is the title of the text? Here we have the marker. What is the title? The title is An Indoor Garden. What's the meaning of indoor? داخلي أو داخل. حديقة داخلية. An indoor garden. Garden حديقة. Okay, now our lesson is about an indoor garden. Before you read, here we have a question. We have, if you had a garden of your own, what kind of plants and flowers would you grow in it? This is the students' opinion. Okay, for me, if I have a garden, what kind of plants? For example, I like flowers. Okay, for me, I like just the flowers. Okay, now our lesson is what is making a terrarium. طيب, before that, we will listen again to this paragraph and I will read again. Okay, please listen carefully and attentively. يلا listen. Wait, wait.
Unit 3. An indoor garden. Making a terrarium. Everybody likes to be surrounded by plants and flowers. Some plants need very little water, sunlight and soil, and can be grown indoors. Such plants can be grown in a terrarium. A terrarium is a small indoor garden that can be grown in a glass jar. Clear, smooth glass offers the best view of the plants inside. Here is an easy way to make a terrarium.
Okay, that's enough. Now our lesson is about making a terrarium. Let's read here. Now we have everybody likes to be surrounded by plants and flowers. Some plants need very little water, sunlight, and soil, and can be grown indoors. Such plants can be grown in a terrarium. A terrarium is a small indoor garden that can be grown in a glass jar. Clear, smooth glass offers the best view of the plants inside. Here is an easy way to make a terrarium. So, you should learn how can we read this text. Okay? Now, the whole lesson is about making a terrarium. So, what is the type of the text? Instructions. What's the meaning of instructions? تعليمات. We have instructions about making a terrarium. About what? Making a terrarium. Okay, this is called a terrarium here. Here we have a terrarium and we have a clear picture here. Wait, please. This is a terrarium. Okay, this is called a terrarium. طيب, what is a terrarium? It's like a container, وعاء, إناء, glass. It is a glass, زجاجي, and the plants can grow inside it. والنباتات بتنمو بداخله. This is a terrarium. So, our lesson today about what? About how can we make a terrarium. How can we make a terrarium? Here we have things we need, and the next page we have the steps. How can we make a terrarium? Okay, the numbers help us understanding the text. Okay, now let's go back to our um, paragraph. Now, everybody likes to be surrounded by plants and flowers. Everybody, the people, the whole people likes to be surrounded by plants and flowers. Some people like plants and flowers. What's the meaning of a plants? نباتات. What's the meaning of a flowers? زهور, ورود. طيب, what's the meaning of surrounded? Surrounded محاط بي. يعني everybody likes to be surrounded by plants and flowers. كل حدا فينا بيحب يكون محاط بالنباتات وبالأزهار. Okay, this paragraph is an introduction. هي مقدمة. Okay, طيب. Some plants need very little water, sunlight, and soil. So, the plants, the whole plants, what's the meaning of plants again? Nabatat. So, the plants need water, sunlight, and soil. How many? Three. Water, sunlight, and soil. So, but some plants, بعض النباتات need very little water. قليل من الماء. Okay, but the whole plants need what? Need water. كل النباتات تحتاج ماء. كل النباتات تحتاج sunlight. What is sunlight? ضوء الشمس. And soil. Soil, which means تربة. So then the plants need water, sunlight, and soil. Okay? Then, and can be grown indoors. Can be grown بيقدروا ينمو وين؟ في الداخل. Not outdoors. Okay? Then, such plants can be grown in a terrarium. وبعض النباتات can grown in a terrarium like this terrarium. Okay? So, what is a terrarium? هو وعاء إناء. ليه؟ Why do we use it? To make a garden inside it. عشان نعمل it's like a small garden. حديقة صغيرة وين؟ بداخله. Okay, so here we have a question. What do plants need to grow? What do plants need to grow? The plants need water, sunlight, and soil. صح؟ صح. طيب, what is a terrarium? For example, this is an example of a question in the exam. Okay, what is a terrarium? For example, a terrarium is a small indoor garden that can be grown in a glass jar. Jar means جرة أو وعاء إناء. Okay, this is the definition of a terrarium. A terrarium هيك please write a circle here and underline this. A terrarium 1 is a small indoor garden that can be grown in a glass jar. Okay, in a glass jar. Glass زجاج. Jar إناء. Okay, so this is a terrarium and our lesson today is how can we make a terrarium. كيف نقدر نعمل terrarium. Okay, now let's continue. We have clear, smooth glass offers the best view of the plants inside. Okay, here we have clear. Clear means واضح أو شفاف. Smooth أملس أو ناعم. Clear smooth glass زجاج ناعم زجاج واضح زجاج شفاف. What offers يعرض أو يقدم لا يعرض يكشف the best view of the plants inside. So the terrarium should be what? Should be clear and smooth. Why? To to offer the best view of the plants, to see the plants عشان نقدر نشوف النباتات inside في الداخل. Okay? Now our lesson is here is an easy way to make a terrarium. Here in our lesson, we have steps to make what? To make a terrarium. This is the easy way. Okay. Now we have, let's say, question in the exam. Find out a noun, for example. Noun or nouns. Let's see. Wait, please. Now, plants, noun, water, sunlight, soil, flowers, terrarium, glass, jar, and here we can use glass as an adjective. Come on. Okay. And what is the, for example, verb? Verb. We have likes. We have be. We have need. We have can. We have can is and so on. طيب. um, adjective. We have surrounded. محاط. محاط be. We have little. We have uh, mm, بس صح clear we have smooth. Okay, and this is the whole thing. Now let's see here. We have the meaning here. Okay, here we have the meaning. We have indoor, داخلي أو داخل as adjective, and we can use it as a noun. But our lesson is an adjective, an indoor garden. Okay, surrounded, محاط, it is an adjective. Plants, نباتات. Indoor, surrounded, plants. Soil, تربة. Garden, حديقة. Instructions, تعليمات, and this is about our lesson. Sunlight, ضوء الشمس. Clear, واضح أو شفاف. Offer, يعرض. Okay. Offer, verb. Clear, adjective. Sunlight, noun. Instructions, noun. Garden, noun. Soil, تربة, noun. Plants, noun. Surrounded, adjective. Indoor, adjective, and we can use it as what? As noun. Okay, what are the questions we have? What is the type of the text? Our text أكيد instructions text. نص تعليمات. Okay. Number two, what is a terrarium? What is a terrarium? It is a small indoor garden that can be grown in a glass jar. In a glass jar. Okay. And where is the answer? هيا. Where is the answer? هيا. A terrarium is a small indoor garden that can be grown in a glass jar. Okay. And we have what? We have the third question. What do plants need to grow? What do plants need to grow? ماذا تحتاج النباتات لكي تنمو? We have water, sunlight, and soil. Okay. Next time we will explain the text. Okay. Now please write the meaning and the questions on your notebook and write the details on the book. Okay, write the details here. Okay. Any question, I am ready to answer any questions. Okay, thank you for listening.